All right, I can see that we're live now. So let's give everybody a couple minutes to get here, because it takes, what we figured by doing this a couple times, it takes a couple minutes for everything to buffer and transfer over. So we're just gonna wait for just a second, and then we're gonna dive in. I have an awesome guest today with me, so we're really excited to chat with you guys today. So yeah, so we're just gonna hang here for just a second, and then we'll dive right in. All righty. Excited to chat with you guys today. Okay, I think we are almost ready to dive in. Hang here for just a second, and
Can you hear me? My audio just went a bit blank. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna dive right in. Hi everyone, and welcome to our latest DSS break. I'm live here every Thursday to bring you the latest news and awesome interviews in a 15-minute break. I'm Anna Annison, the CEO and founder at Formulated By, the home of the Data Science Salon, and I'm streaming here from my home. And you could see here a little bit of a barking because I do have dogs, but I am streaming here at Formulated By, which is also part of, really in the heart of Miami and in the Design District. And it's almost Friday, and we've had another awesome week, and we're doing another giveaway. Remember those socks? People really love them, so we're gonna give away 5 more of these awesome socks to the first 5 people who comment. So make sure to go and comment and get those socks. They're really comfy and stylish. I'm very excited to welcome my guest today. Joining me is Appu, CEO of Chief Scientist at Mobius Labs. Mobius was one of our sponsors at DSS Virtual last week, and thanks again for supporting us. Appu also presented a fantastic talk on superhuman vision for every application, which is the focus of what Mobius Labs is all about. And we also just posted a blog on the DSS site this morning in collaboration with Appu and Mobius about making visual AI ready for mass deployment. It's a must read, so check the comment section for a link to that. And I can't wait to chat with you, so why don't we go ahead and dive in. Appu, please, maybe you can introduce yourself, give us a little bit of a background. I think we lost Appu, actually. He dropped off, but we're gonna give him a second to, there he is.
Yeah.
All right, no worries, this stuff happens. That's what happens when you're live, but you're back. So would love to hear a little bit about you and kind of how you got into this space.
Yeah, we'd love to. First of all, welcome to every viewers. And yeah, so my name is Appu. So I'm CEO and Chief Scientist of Mobius Labs. So I've been and Mobius Labs is a company where we actually provide computer vision solutions. We enable sort of all users we are a B2B company, and we enable users who are typically product managers or business owners to sort of use computer vision in their product by actually using our solution. So maybe a little bit of introduction from my side. So my background is that initially I did a PhD and a postdoc in computer vision, has been sort of doing computer vision for like last 20 years of my life, initially in academia, wrote some papers which are well cited, which are well used in some of the popular libraries now. Then shifted my career into entrepreneurship in 2012 when I started my first company. That failed, but a lot of learnings with every failure. So immediately started something else, and Mobius is my third company. And in generally, it's the most exciting period for me, especially because computer vision is being used everywhere, and we are being able to sort of make a positive sort of a dent in letting people actually use computer vision for their applications.
Awesome. No, that's congratulations on your third company. That's awesome. And you mentioned in your DSS talk that your platform is really made for product managers and non-technical users like myself. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about why you think it's important to make a platform friendly for also the non-technicals. I mean, I know why it's important, but maybe you could tell the guests why that's really important to you and why you decided to build this product this way.
Absolutely. So with computer vision or any AI solutions, has typically very complex behaviors in the sense that let's take a very simple product which is not using AI. Let's take something like calculator. It's doing one job and it does something well. So it's something, it's very sort of predictable. Whereas AI touches sort of human society, our interactions, and has a big effect on people. So let's take a computer vision system. Suppose a system is making a misclassification, saying a cat is a raccoon or something like that. It's probably not a big thing for anyone. But at the same time, for example, it's falsely identifying someone, and that can get people into trouble, not because of their fault, but because of the fault of the algorithm itself. So it can have real sort of societal impact, what in a positive way and a negative way. So when computer vision is used for building application, I feel that there is an intersection of two things. One is the technology behind that, but there is also a social science aspect. So our sort of motivation of the project is to find that correct interaction where we can actually derive human values with awesome technology that we build. And that's why our sort of target is also not generally uh, um, just people who develop the technology, but people who are thinking about how to use it. What are the impact streams? What are the value streams that they can explore? And actually facilitating that conversation. So Mobius Labs bring to the table the technological part and this expertise, and we work with our partners, commercial and other partners, to actually explore this intersection. This has been a very fascinating journey, and how people actually take a technology and actually starts molding it. And in general, this is when technology gets life, when it can be touched by people and mold, and it actually gets a life of its own, which sometimes the people who actually build the technology cannot even comprehend or cannot even imagine while this was being built. So this is something I always find that fascinating, how people can take an artifact, maybe in this case a technological artifacts, and actually build something on top of it. And that's again very satisfying to see. And that's again the motive of our sort of journey in Mobius Labs, to create that human value with the software that we create.
Awesome. No, that's really great. I love that. That's a great story. And what is your vision? What is your vision for your supervision? I know you talk about that, so maybe you could tell me a little bit about that because that's super interesting as well.
Yeah. So in generally we think about what machines can do is they can process a lot of data very fast. So what we always think about supervision is that, for example, let's take, you go to a holiday and you come back. Hopefully, after this Corona pandemic, I can come to Florida, come to Miami, and then when I go back, I have like 2,000 or 3,000 pictures in my iPhone, for example, or my Android phone. And I come back, and then can these images be processed automatically? Can it be made searchable automatically, etc.? Right now, we have to manually sort of go through it. Suddenly, what machine allows you to do is to do the processing very fast and be sort of your virtual eyes, or a virtual sort of yeah, visual systems, where you can actually supercharge your abilities in various ways. Or even something thinking about, so for example, we as a company work in various diverse field. For example, recently we started working with a lot of sort of geospatial companies, where we are sort of giving the software to sort of uh, companies which are launching satellites into orbit, or people who are processing these geospatial images. Again, here, what is key in this thing is, mm, why people are interested in this kind of geospatial images is that there is some core insight. For example, is there a wildfire happening? And can machine actually identify that very fast? And what machines can do better, which is the superhuman part, than an ordinary human, is to actually process thousands and millions of photographs or videos at the time. So this is that amazing interaction of how can we essentially take human abilities that we want and supercharge it by actually processing large amount of data.
Cool. No, that's really cool. And how do you fill in the data gaps when collecting data? Because I'm sure that's such a huge amount. There must be gaps there.
Absolutely. So that's again one of the sort of the interesting sort of technological shifts that we see essentially, because a lot of sort of machine learning algorithms are usually learned with this mode called supervised learning, where you collect a lot of data and collect a lot of labels. This is super expensive because typically annotations are really expensive, which means that you can only model only a limited amount of data. So what we do is now we are working with algorithms which are sort of weakly supervised and self-supervised, where you don't have much dependence on label data, which means that it can essentially go and see from internet or publicly available sources more and more data. And as and when we see that the predictions are not correct, or is it in a distribution that it has never seen before, then we need to pay attention. So this is that kind of iterative parts of actually finding out distributions that we have never seen before. So just to give a idea, like we train mostly sort of convolutional neural network or transformer based sort of deep learning methods. So and the main skill is to find that kind of novel data point that it has never seen before, and then if you find that, then actually collect more of those images and then retrain the algorithm so that it actually fills up that data gap.
That's super interesting. Thank you so much for sharing all this. And what is next for Mobius Labs? Are you like, what is kind of on your roadmap as well? What are you guys working on? Maybe you could talk a little bit just about that before we wrap up.
Yeah, absolutely. So in generally, again, our sort of main goal is to again make our technology accessible to everyone. So we work a lot on what we call as no-code AI systems, which allows not only people to sort of deploy AI systems which are trained by an expert, but actually to train their own sort of AI classes, AI segmentation, AI localization model. So that's one part of the product where you will see a lot of innovation coming from Mobius Labs. Again, we are exploring that human computer interactions where the training systems or training these algorithms is going to be more interface driven than program driven. That's the sort of one work that we are really looking for. Another core is we have a lot of emphasis on sort of privacy. So all of our systems are locally installed. We never see our clients' data. So this is something very core sort of value that we hold. But at the same time, we are thinking about how can we get a network effect where our clients can actually share the intelligence that their AI systems that they trained to each other and make it better. But in generally, I'm very excited because again, um, the places where all the AI applications are popping up is manifold, is accelerating, and our sort of goal is to be that enabler for these applications where people don't have to build end-to-end stacks, but just can plug in a system like Mobius or something similar and just launch the application in a short cycle. So something like let's take some of the revolutions which happened in tech world. For example, say let's take semiconductors. Like once Intel came in, and suddenly there is a huge sort of powering of sort of microprocessors and desktop PCs, etc. So there is this inflection point, and for us, it's again computer vision is in this inflection point, and we like to play a very big part in that.
Awesome. No, thank you so much. This was awesome to learn about Mobius and you a little bit more. And thank you so much for joining DSS Virtual. We hope to see you again. Don't forget that you could still catch Appu's presentation on demand. It's available for another week. And don't forget to comment to get those socks. And just a quick thing, save the date for our next event on July 12th. We've partnered with VentureBeat Transform, and we got an awesome lineup of speakers from Stitch Fix, Roku, Spotify, and more. And the registration link is going to be dropped in the comments section as well. But thanks again, Appu. Thank you guys for joining us today, and I will see you next week at our next DSS break.
So thanks for having me. Bye-bye.
Bye.